Big O Show. This is the 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 Big O Show.
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. Cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you're getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Your home for everything Heat.
They stand eye to eye with history, and they did not blink. The Heat are going to the NBA Finals.
Panthers.
The Florida Panthers are heading to the Stanley Cup Finals.
The Big O Radio Show goes deep on playoff coverage.
We don't care what the rest of the world is saying. We don't care who's criticizing who. You got to line up between these four lines, and let's figure this out.
The Big O Radio Show. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All Friday, folks. It is not a good one. Not a good one. Because, of course, the Panthers are down 2-0 in this series, waiting for the final 7 seconds here to tick away. And let's end this thing and end this misery already. Oh, we get a power play for 7 seconds. All right. Yeah, fantastic. Can we score 5 goals in a 7-second power play? I'm just wondering. Can we do that? Can you do that for me? Any shot? Is that possible? Anybody know? So I'm just waiting for this foolishness to end here so we can kind of get into it. At least the coach can get a little laugh out of it. All right. Waiting for the 7 seconds here. And we're on a power play. Oh, Lordy. By the way, a change on the platform. Tomorrow we will not have a morning show. I have changed my plans. We're going to do it in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow, and Wednesday will be at 2 o'clock, although we'll be at Caneswear at 2 o'clock. The game is final. Why? Because we're going to go to Dolphins camp. And so I figured instead of doing the morning show, let me go to Dolphins camp, get some work done, see the boys, watch practice,
come back, give you my assessment and all that good stuff. All right, we got a final now. It is over, and they're throwing pink flamingos onto the ice. Okay, so there you go. Instead of rats, there's pink flamingos being thrown on the ice, folks. How about that? So are we going to start throwing chips or something? And do we do casino chips or something like that? All righty, here we go. Now we are back. I've got the board up so I can see the chat board. As always, I appreciate all of you out there. The late, great Mad Dog used to say, when you got your ass kicked, you just say you got your ass kicked. And the Florida Panthers tonight got their asses absolutely handed to them. That's all. Absolutely handed to them. The Florida Panthers. They looked overmatched. The defense was terrible in front of Bob. Bob wasn't necessarily sharp either. He kind of started to look like regular season Bob. He started to look like the Bob we've watched for years now. Here, to be quite honest. That's kind of the feeling I got from that Bob right there. Because you look at Hill on the other side, shit, that power play early on the Panthers had, I don't know how they didn't score on that power play. That was amazing. And Hill made some stabs, some stops. You know, he was on. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those where, yeah, the defense was terrible. Bob was not sharp. The Panthers are losing their cool. Gudis, obviously, who's your enforcer, got absolutely wrecked. You know, and I know Kachuk got Eichel with that enormous hit. Eichel was able to come back, but Gudis did not. And I don't know, you know, listen, man, whatever happens in sports, it is what it is. I don't know if they're trying to hide it or whatever, but that dude suffered a concussion because he got rocked and his head hit the ice. So he probably saw, you know, it's not just a Tua thing, okay? Everybody suffers concussions. So you know, maybe they'll try to, you know, get by. I don't know how they do it in hockey. I don't know if there's a, what's that called? A neutral party that's not players union, that's not, you know, the league, and it's something in the middle that they've agreed upon. I don't know what the rules are back there. I don't know if you can get away with it. But he clearly got his ass rocked. You know what I'm saying? So, and Kachuk got the penalty, and he was out for a while. I mean, you know, it was they looked overmatched. They played shitty defense. The goalie wasn't sharp. Now you've got to bounce back mentally, and you've got to make a complete 180 turn in this game. Okay, because you are now getting dominated by the Las Vegas Knights. This is something, you know, we haven't seen since early in the Boston series, and still that wasn't even the same way. This is bad tonight, man. 7-2 is bad. It's nice Kachuk got a goal later on, and Lundell got his goal too earlier, but doesn't really do much, you know, overall. I saw a Panther team that is trying to be physical, yet I've watched for 2 games in a row the Vegas Knights deliver the biggest blows in both games. They were the ones that won the game, the physical part of this game. And I know they wanted to keep going, but, you know, like the Montour goal, like the Montour penalty, like, come on, dude. You can't do stupid shit like that. You just can't give these people opportunities, especially when you're not necessarily exceptional at you know, defending. And there you go. And you're giving up goals. You're giving up opportunities. It's just, you're playing stupid hockey. You're playing a bad defense. Your goalie's not sharp. You're getting absolutely dominated. I mean, it was ugly. Now, it's not over because hockey is a wacky ass sport, and it's, you know, they can come back. Maybe I'll adjust my Florida 6, maybe Florida 7 now, because Florida's not going to win 4 in a row against these guys. I just don't think hockey's wacky enough that they could do that. But this is, we're at a crossroad right now. Okay? Remember what I told you. This goes both ways. Let's play this game. Let's be fair now. Okay? I told you that the Heat had to win last night because they had to put the doubt into Denver. Denver was invincible. They were undefeated, at home, right? But what happened to Denver? All of a sudden, they stood up there like that guy in GoldenEye and said, "I am invincible," and then that thing all exploded and whatever the hell it is, cryogenics or whatever the hell that shit that froze his ass up and he became stone. Kind of like Clash of the Titans when that thing came out of the water and they show Medusa's head, whatever it was, right? And so that's what happened to the Denver Nuggets. I am invincible, and the Heat just made them stone and crumble apart, right? Well, now Denver has to go to Miami, and now they got to question themselves. They're questioning their effort, all of this. Same goes with the Panthers now. Okay? Panthers got their asses kicked now. They got their asses dominated. They got their asses embarrassed. They got flamingos on the ice. Gudis, who's the enforcer, got enforced, okay, in a big-time way. And so now you are going to see, and Bob, one more thing. And now Bob has allowed a shit ton of goals now. He's allowed more goals in the last 2 games than he has probably the entire playoff series. I'm kind of exaggerating, but you know what I mean. So all of a sudden now, did the Prince turn into a frog? Do you still have a hot goaltender? Because now how long is the leash with Bob? Because you're not going to come back with the Lion. You're going to come back with Bob. You're going to give Bob one more chance to redeem himself. And Bob probably knows that he only has one chance to redeem himself, and the hook is probably going to be quick. But it's also up to the defense in front of Bob. They were freaking terrible, dude. Absolutely terrible. They didn't know where everybody was at. They looked like the Inter Miami defense, no matter what coach they have. But hey, maybe Inter Miami might fire their coach in the next 2 weeks and add another one. Who knows? They seem to collect coaches like the rest of us collect underwears. But anyway, as I digress, Panthers right now have to question themselves in a big time way. And we're going to find out now what shows up at FLA Live Arena. What Bob shows up, what defense shows up. This is where the leaders have to step up. Here's where Kachuk, here's where Verhaeghe, who had some opportunities tonight, here's where all these other guys have to step up. But at the same time, you got to play smart too, man. You can't play stupid hockey. You cannot give these people, more opportunities on the power play. That just makes 0 sense. 0 sense. And Hateful Steve chimed in, obviously watching it and making a donation, which we appreciate, on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. And he put Bob looks blind. And what are you going to do? Argue with that? You can't argue with that. And by the way, remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. He sent in a Bitcoin donation. He says, for Bob to figure it the F out. So he even sent in Bitcoin hoping. And by the way, thank you, Hateful Steve, on that, because Bitcoin's on a dip. So that's strong sending the Bitcoin in. So remember, you can make a Bitcoin donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. We don't mind the Cash App donations, but YouTube takes 30%. That's why here we get the whole thing. That's why we mention Cash App or Venmo. But this is as ugly as it gets. You know what I mean? And it's not over yet. Game 3 decides everything. Game 3 is a must-win for the Panthers. There's no excuses. It's what Game 2 was for the Miami Heat. So Game 3 and 4 now for the Panthers are must-wins, by the way. I'm sorry. Now Miami. Now the Florida Panthers have to win Games 3 and 4. You know how I told you Miami had to win Game 2? Well, now the Panthers have to win games 3 and 4 or it's over. And there's no, I know I get it, whatever. No, they're done if they do that here against Vegas. If they leave Florida up 3-1, series done. Series done. So now the Florida Panthers, what they've done is put themselves in an absolute hole with their backs up against the wall, and they have to now respond in a big time way. They're playing with house money, but you got to try, man, if you can. Sports Fish Trader, which I think it is, the Hateful Steve is in the house. Chris M, outmatched. We played like the Leafs played us. More worried about the hits than playing our game. Vegas is built for the hits. Yeah. Terminator's disappointed. Not Your Father is hurting. Chris M, you have to outsmart them. Even that looks impossible right now. They just got handled. Rick D. Man is in the house. Game was over during the second period. You're right. You're right. We just hung in there because we're fans, because we're supporting our team. We love our team. But yeah, we watched it all the way to the end, but it was tough, man. It was tough. PD 2K15 says, Damo, they are really freaking good. They are, my man. They are. They are. No doubt. 12 goes to 4 over 2 games. Yikes. Yeah. It's ugly, man. And Bob has, Bob in that defense, they've completely lost it compared to where they were. Might as well play with an open net, says Not Your Father. Knights goalie was no joke. Bob had a very bad game. Panthers overall was horrible this game. I think now is where we panic. I'm not going to panic yet until game 3. I'm going to give them a chance because they have shown some grit, and hockey's kind of crazy, and they have the firepower to get it done. If tonight they lose Tkachuk instead of Gudas, although they need Gudas badly for their defense, really bad. But if it would have been Tkachuk, I would have said, "Oh man, this is bad." But I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt for game 3. And then I can start panicking. At one point or another, you'll hear me panicking on Twitter. Okay. Giovanni is in the house. Eugene is in the house. Tua Time is in. I don't know anything about hockey, but I'm here to support Sean and the Panthers fans. Hit the like button. Thank you, Tua Time. And yes, please hit the hell out of the like button. Share it with people. Tell them that we're here covering all of South Florida sports. Tomorrow we'll be at Dolphins camp. The next couple of days we'll be at Dolphins camp. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be at Dolphins camp. So we're going to have afternoon shows. Okay, we normally have an afternoon show on Thursday, right? Well, tomorrow and Wednesday will be 2:00 shows. All right, we'll start at 2, just in case. Let's see. Bob has lost his mojo due to the layoff. I mean, it could be true. Could be true. Team could have lost its mojo too. GoldenEye, best Nintendo 64 game ever. Never played it, so I wouldn't know. I said 2 days ago they had to win this game tonight. I'm going to wait till game 3. I'm going to give them game 3 because if they win game 3, things change. You win game 4, it's a whole new series. I'm going to give them one more game before I panic. Listen, it's fair if you want to panic. They've gotten dominated. They don't look like the better team. So I totally understand if you want to panic. Totally get it. I'm not ready yet. I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to stay strong. I'm going to stay positive here, no matter what we're watching. But I'm going to stay positive here, and I'm going to stay the course, okay? Ricky Perez, thank you for the love on the super chat, my man. I appreciate it. He says, this is reminiscent of 96 when the Avalanche steamrolled us behind Patrick Waugh. And, of course, we have much more talent on this team. Let's hope this group can work through it and bounce back. He's right, and he's right. He's right. We're getting bankrolled. right? By Vegas, just like we were getting bankrolled by the Avalanche. But this team is much better. It has way more firepower. Like the other Panthers team, you knew Beezer had to be perfect and their defense had to be impeccable because they could only score a goal or two. So they had to clutch and grab to hell and try to keep it all close. You know what I'm saying? So Ricky is 1,000% right on both counts the way he broke it down. Barkov, great player, but does not shoot enough. Always looking to pass for a superstar. Yeah, I know. That's why you needed a Kachuk. That's why last year I said you have to trade Huberdeau. You can't have Barkov and Huberdeau as your leaders of your team. It's kind of like having Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. No matter what anybody tells you, you know what I mean? Like those two guys were never lead guys. They're complementary. They're number twos, number threes on teams. That's their peak. But they made them 1 and 2s, and that's why Toronto never won, because they had to go trade for a legitimate number one. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those deals. Legitimate number ones are special human beings. And Barkov is a super talent that you need on your team, but he's probably a number 2 because he's not the lead guy of a franchise. His talent is superb, but he's probably more of a number 2 on a team. You know, it's probably what he is. He's perfect now. Now Kachuk is the man, and he's the number 2 guy. That's perfect because they're both super talented, but Kachuk has the leadership skills. I mean, just watching him out there, dude, that guy will fight. That guy will sacrifice his body. He's fearless. His engine never stops. He's a mother. Okay? He's a son of a bitch. You know? And that's what stars are, man. Stars are SOBs. They're relentless. That's why they're stars, you know? Love Barkov, but not the number 1. He's now in where he belongs. As 38 Special would say, he's back where he belongs. Never thought I'd use a 38 Special song as a reference. Ricky Elisabeth says, Big O, the Florida Panthers will win and come back to win games 3 and 4. Who do you put in? No, it's Bob. Bob starts out. You have to give Bob the opportunity to redeem himself. Okay? You have to. It's the decent thing to do. It's the professional thing to do for the Florida Panthers and for the head coach. So Paul Maurice has to give the man, one opportunity here to redeem himself. You don't give up on somebody, when they hit a patch here. You give them one chance. Now, I'll follow up with this. The hook has to be quick. Because I told you, you got to win games 3 and 4 now. Now the Panthers have no choice now. They have to win games 3 and 4. So if Bob is not sharp, then, not that Lyon is any better, but, and the defense has got to get better. Let's not lay it all on Bob. This is unfair now. Okay. Bob only takes a percentage of the loss. The defense in front of him was worse than he was. Let's get that clear now. Okay. Bob was not the main culprit why you allowed all those goals. The defense in front of Bob was the main culprit in front of Lyon and Bob. The defense sucked. They were horrible. And then they put their goaltender in an awkward position at times. Now, do you need him at times to be special and bail you out like Bob has done in the last couple of weeks? Yes. So he wasn't sharp, but let's not kid ourselves. First and foremost, the defense in front of Bob was the problem. Then Bob was a problem. So you've got to fix both. So that's why you just can't shit on Bob here, because it just wasn't all on Bob. And by the way, without Radko Gudas, that's a huge loss. Huge loss. I hope he's available to the Panthers in a couple days here at Sunrise. I hope Radko can come back. So, 10 days off, way too long. No, you got to be a pro. You got to figure it out, man. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give you the break of the 10 days off. Use it and be smart about it. If they couldn't handle it, that's their problem. It's like Caleb Martin. I love Caleb Martin. He's a young player. I think he's the one guy out of all those role players that has a shot. But look what happened. Young player, right? He was the star of he was the MVP of the Celtics series, not Jimmy Butler. Okay, Jimmy was a very close second, but I would have given it to Caleb. But Caleb got all that praise, all that love, everything, and then look, so it's hard to handle, success and balance it. And sometimes you got to handle it, but there's no excuses for it. So no excuses for Caleb disappearing the last 2 games. You want the praise, you still got to live up to it after that. And I'm sure he's trying. And same thing for the Panthers. Hey, man, you got the days off. It's up to you to stay sharp. Can't use it as an excuse or a crutch. That was a gift for you to be off all those days so you can get your body right. It's your fault if you didn't come out sharp. Yeah, when we lost Gudis, it seems like the air went out of the balloon, Richard. Yeah. I mean, they were kind of already losing. That was kind of like the nail in the coffin, basically. Yeah, Barkov is ultra talented, but he isn't like a dog. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's kind of like a goober. What 100%. I don't care who the goalie is when you're allowing forwards to walk in alone like that. Yeah. It was the defense was worse than Bob 100 times over. I got to give them the reason why they also lost. Let's not make any excuses. We got beat twice. That's close. Not close. Yes. The first game was a little closer than what that 5-2 score looks like. But this one was an annihilation. Listen, they're the better team right now. Okay? They had the better record throughout the year. They've been the better franchise since they got into as the expansion team for 4 straight years. This is their second time in the Cup since they were an expansion franchise, 4 years ago, right? 5 years ago now? Something like that. It's stupid, the amount of success that this team has had. So they're the better franchise than the Florida Panthers, considering the Panthers have been around for 30 years, 35 years. They're the better franchise. In a short amount of time, they've had a lot more success than the Florida Panthers. And right now, they're the better team. Now, I always tell you to look at things macro, not micro. Okay? So you've been around for 35 years. So under Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu, what's happened now? Well, this is your 4th straight year making the playoffs. Did the Panthers ever do that for the 35 years, the 30 years before that? No. So now you were able to trade for a superstar, right? Still got to kind of solve your goaltending problem. I get it. But you got some players on your team now that are pretty damn good that you can build on. You've gone to the playoffs 4 straight years. And what are you doing now in the playoffs? You finally went to the second round last year. And now you went to the Stanley Cup. So macro, don't stay in these last 2 games. I know it sucks. It sucks they're down 0-2. It sucks that, if they lose the Stanley Cup with this opportunity, all of that sucks. And I'm never going to disagree with you on that. But I'm also going to tell you as a Panther fan, the shit you've gone through for, 25 years now, since the mid-90s, that's over. You actually have like a franchise that's building like this now. So I do want to just remind you, keep it in the macro, understand what's going on. It's not nearly as bad as the moment we're in right now. The moment we're in absolutely sucks. But they are now better built for the playoffs. They've proven that. Maybe they need to improve just a little bit more, and they will get some cap relief this year. So they'll have a little money to spend. So they'll have an opportunity, and they're getting sexier to people out there. They're in South Florida, no tax state, and now it looks like Paul Maurice is pretty well respected. Obviously, the GM, Zito's done a marvelous job. Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu will spend money, so players will want to come here. So all of those things are turning for Florida. So I do not want you to lose sight of the fact that in the big picture, we're like this. We're trending upwards. And, Viola and Sifu have done a marvelous job of building this brand up. Okay? So I know it sucks where we're at right now. I completely understand that. Totally understand. But big picture, things are pretty good, man. Things are pretty damn good. Okay? Let's see. This team has come back from 3-1 down against Boston. Hockey is different from basketball where teams can come back in a series. Let's go win game 3. Hamza, you and I are in the same picture. That's why I'm not ready to panic at all. Game 3, I will panic. You don't win game 3, it's over. Pretty simple, They got to win game 3 and 4. You can't go down 3-1 either. That one I'm not buying. But you've got to win this game. You got to win both of these games now at home. You can't go back to Vegas. You can't have the last 3 games where you're down 3-1. And you've got to win all 3 of those games. That's just a lot to ask. Too much to ask, really. It's not realistic to ask that. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, VOD The Vault. The VOD Vault. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. The VOD Vault says, Big O, I completely agree. South Florida sports is going to be amazing for the next few years. I'm very excited. If the soccer team can ever figure out and stop being so screwed up and dysfunctional, that would be a really cool thing for the summer. And if the baseball team could spend a little money, I mean, they got a decent core. They don't have a core to win when it's all said and done, but they've got a decent core that they could add something. That I just wish those other 2 sports would, one straighten themselves out and the other one spend a little bit more money, and I think things would be absolutely awesome, to be quite honest. What else do we have here, Big O? I believe the Florida Panthers could come back and win this series. They did it against the Bruins, and they can do it against the Vegas Knights. The Panthers 4 games. Yeah, they can do it. There's no doubt about it. I'm with you there. All right, folks, hang in there. Stay positive. Things will get better. All right. Let's be a little bit of patience. Let's hold out till game 3. Let's give them a chance, to see if they can bounce back, because if they bounce back in the next 2 games, we're all going to feel a lot better doing these post-game shows. All right. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 2:00. All right. And as we always say, we will see you same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.